Okay, this is the next project here. I believe this is a 2010 Victory Vision. This is a Arlen Ness special. And as you can see, Arlen did his deal on the paint, which looks pretty cool. The engine's been dressed up here a little bit. As you can see, there's some machine work on the fins. And very nice looking machine, very good shape. This one's going to be kind of a challenge in a way because we're going to have to blend the front end. You know, this is my typical design here, which is a little bit more straight. This one's going to end up curved, so it blends in with the rear there, and that flow just kind of carries over onto the front end. So I got to work on some artistic work there. This should be the most unusual build I have done so far. So I'm pretty anxious to get going on this thing. This is going to be fun. As far as attachment, that's not an issue. I checked these out before. I won't have any trouble with getting the frame secured on there. As far as airflow, it's going to be really good. This opening here forms a natural wind tunnel, so I won't have any trouble ducting air into the engine. There will be a fan in here. One thing that's going to be kind of neat on this, and I didn't tell the owner this yet, I'll have to break the news to him. He gets to test out my new reverse gear setup for reverse trikes. I have a patent pending design, and we're going to put it on this bike and have him test it for me and give me updates on what needs to be adjusted or fixed or what he likes, doesn't like. But he's getting the reverse for free just because he gets to test it out. So that's a real bonus for him. So he should be pretty happy when I talk to him about that one. But we'll be getting going with this one here. I'm going on vacation. So when I get back from vacation, I'm going to attack this pretty steady and hopefully get it done for him so we can get some decent riding in this year. So I'll be doing a video step by step on this one, and any kind of issues I run into or trials and tribulations, and we'll keep you posted on that. Okay, part two of the Victory here, and I've got some progress done. I didn't work on it too much. I had a lot of things going on. We're actually leaving on vacation, so this is about as far as I'm going to get before we leave. But I did get a couple fenders, and as you can see, there's the fender. It's a front fender off of a Yamaha Venture, and it's got the little slope back. What I'll do with these, I've got two of them. I'm going to cut them down the middle and widen them out 1.5 inches, and kind of modify them so they'll fit on here. But the design is nice because it's got the same basic lines as the bike has, so it's going to blend in really, really nice. A couple things on these. You know, you learn every time you get into one of these things how manufacturers think. As you can see, the battery is right there. I think what I'm actually going to do is build a battery box in the front frame and move that battery up ahead, so that it's easy for the owner to get at it. This is kind of a difficult spot, even as a stock bike, to get at that battery. It's you got to pull the front wheel off to get at it, really. So I'm going to relocate it about a foot or so ahead of where it is now, so the owner can just reach in and loosen one bolt and pull that battery right out of there. This does have link brakes. I've got the brakes out of there. As you can see, lots and lots of hoses. And the way they work is they've got this little balance valve right here. And on each caliper, one of the pistons on each caliper runs with the foot lever, and the other two on each caliper run with the hand lever. So that way you've got a linked system where the hand grip actually runs the front brakes, and the foot pedal runs front and rear. And it's kind of a little bit different. Like the Goldwings, the hand lever runs both and the foot runs both. And their system is, it's kind of goofy in a way. It's got two masters. One runs on the left disc, and it's kind of a problematic thing. There's a big brake recall on it because that secondary master doesn't return to normal, and the brake pressure builds up, and there's been a couple fires and all kinds of things. So it's not a real good design. This is much better. The foot pedal runs both, the hand runs only the front. I think that's a little more natural for one thing. But I have to delink them because I can't get the brakes balanced properly, and it's kind of a danger thing. So the hand lever on my systems always run the front wheels, and the foot pedal runs the rear. And to bypass this was easy because they just hook in right here. There's this one here goes to the back caliper. This one went to the front pair. So all I had to do is put a bushing in there with a couple copper washers to make sure that it seals good. And it was a 2-minute bypass. So this one's all ready to go. I've got the fork tubes out of there, as you can see. And I got to make a couple little short tubes that fit in there, and that's going to drive the steering system. And other than that, it's looking really good. So I got these parts here. I didn't take off too much, just that. And I've got the wheel over here and the shock tubes. And one thing I did notice on this is this one disc, must be this side, is actually really loose. It moves up and down quite a bit. I'd say a good 1/16 of an inch. And typically those things are supposed to move, but not that easily. And I don't think it really caused a problem here, except it would be noisy. You'd hear that thing chattering going down the road. So that was the first time I ever came across that system. But anyway, this is where I start. And at this point, next time I attack this thing, I'll be adding the frame section to the front, and we'll go from there. But at this point, it's going really well. It's no surprises. I've got a couple good ideas on how to make life easier for the owner, so that's always good. So anyway, part 2 is done. I guess one more thing I should mention here, if you see these aluminum sides here, and there's a hose right there that's upside down that says caution fuel, the gas tanks are on the side. These are actually, this is the gas tank on this side. And yeah, they're all aluminum gas tanks. And it's mounted in the fairing, which is kind of different. The battery was kind of a chore to get out of there. I did get it out. It's sitting right here. I'm going to extend those cables. I've got plenty of areas up front here. And I'm going to rig it up so that I'm going to use the existing cradle there, and one bolt and the thing will slide right out, and I'm going to make it really easy for maintenance. And it kind of opens up the front of the engine compartment here so we can get a little better airflow in here. So I think that's going to work out much better. So I guess this part's done, and we'll move on to actually construction on the next phase.